Good morning. Good morning. Namaste. I am RosaJ. I hope you did your lesson for yesterday. It was lesson 51. Lesson 51. Yes. Let's see. Lesson 51. Oh no, today is lesson 51. Yesterday was lesson 50. I am so great to be here. I had a fabulous time. So lesson 50 was, I am sustained by the love of God. I am sustained by the love of God, aren't we? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Today's lesson is a review of lessons 1 through 2. Yes. My computer is trying to do something crazy day recently. I hope you enjoyed it, as most people should, on their birthday, that's the day that you can do anything you desire, because it is your day. It is the day that you came to earth. I am so grateful for birthdays. I love it. So today's lesson, where do you live, hot dog? Are you in the DC area like me? I see you often on Facebook. I have not yet met you person to person, but one day. Yeah. So let's just pray that we understand and we accept, that we open our hearts to hear and transform and become the being God desires us to be here on earth. Let us bless everything and everybody, forgive everything and everybody, and keep moving in the love that God created us to be. I am grateful. Amen. Ashe. And so it is. So today is a review of all that we have done. And I think that's the whole week is a review of what we've done thus. So beginning with today, we have a series of review periods. Each of them will cover 5 of the ideas already presented, starting with the first and ending with the 50th. There will be a few short comments after each ideas, which you should consider in your review. In the practice periods, an exercise should be done as follows. Of course, you have to practice, right? Perfect practice makes perfect. Following instructions. Begin the day by reading the 5 ideas with the comments included. You can find that on I Am Affirmations page. I always post them. The whole lesson is done there. Therefore, it is not necessary for you to follow any particular order in considering them. Though each one should be practiced at least once. Devote 2 minutes or more to each practice periods, thinking about the idea and related comments after reading them. Do this as often as possible during the day. If any one of the 5 ideas appeal to you more than the other, concentrate on that one. At the end of each day, however, be sure to review all of them once more. So you do it in the morning or throughout the day, and then practice it before you go to sleep. Just reading over it. It is not necessary to cover the comments that follow each idea, either literally or thoroughly in the practice periods. Try rather to emphasize the central point and think about it as part of your review of the idea which relates to. After you have read the idea and related comments, the exercise should be done with your eyes closed when you are alone in a quiet place, if possible. Let's say good morning to some people. How is everyone on YouTube and Facebook and see what's going on? Yes, it is grateful. I am grateful. So let's go back to the lesson. This is emphasized for practice periods at your stage of learning. It will be necessary, however, that you learn to require no special settings in which to apply that you have learned. You will need your learning most in situations that appear to be upsetting rather than those that you already seem to be calm and quiet in. The purpose of learning is to enable you to bring the quiet with you and to heal distress and turmoil. This is not done by avoiding them and seeking a heaven of isolation for yourself. You will yet learn that peace is a part of you and requires only that you embrace any situation in which you are. And finally, you will learn that there is no limit to where you are, so that your peace is everywhere you are. It doesn't matter where you're, what's going on outside of self. Peace is within. You will note that for the review purpose, some of the ideas are not given in quite their original form. Use them as they are given here. It is not necessary to return to the original statement, nor to apply the idea as was suggested then. You are only to follow the comments given. Excuse me. I meant to cut my phone off, and I did not. Ooh. So let me shut it down. How am I going to do that? Okay. There we go. So the first lesson, the first idea is nothing I see means anything. Remember that? The reason this is so is that you see nothing, and nothing has no meaning. It is necessary that you recognize this, that you may learn to see with the eyes of God. What you think you see now is taking the place of vision. I must let it go by realizing that it has no meaning, so that vision may take place. Remember, everything we see is an image of our imagination. What we've been taught or what we've been told it is. That's not necessarily the truth, capital T. Not the truth of God. It is a man-made name or a man-made image. But we want to see the truth. So nothing I see means anything. That may be difficult to understand, but it is necessary to embrace. Number 2, I have given what I see all the meaning it has for me. I have given what I see all the meaning it has for me. I have judged everything I look upon, and it is this and only this I see. This is not vision. It is merely an illusion of reality, because my judgments have been made quite apart from reality. We tend to judge everything, sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly. I am willing to recognize the lack of validity in my judgments because I want to see. So I see what I want to see, not what it really is. My judgments have hurt me, and I do not want to see according to them. Remember, I want to see what God sees in everything I see. So I have given what I see all the meaning it has for me. Not separate. I've separated that from the meaning from God. So we have to open and embrace that. Number 3, I do not understand anything I see. No, I don't understand anything that I see. How could I understand what I see when I have judged it amiss? What can I see? What I see is the projection of my own errors of thought. I do not understand what I see because it is not understandable. There is no sense in trying to understand it, but there is every reason to let it go and to make room for what can be seen and understood and loved. I can exchange what I see now for this merely by being willing to do so. And is this not a better choice? To be willing to understand it differently. Because I don't understand what I see. I made it up. Make up a new story. Ask God to show you the understanding of what you're looking at. Number 4, these thoughts do not mean anything. You remember that? These thoughts do not mean anything. The thoughts of which I am aware do not mean anything because I am trying to think without God. I am trying to think with my ego, my feelings, my emotions. I seek to see and think with God. What I call my thoughts are not my real thoughts. My real thoughts are the thoughts I think with God. I am not aware of them because I have made my thoughts to take their place. I am willing to recognize that my thoughts do not mean anything and let them go. I choose to have them replaced by what they really are. My thoughts are meaningless, but all creation lies in the thoughts I think with God. Yes? How you feel about that one? Can you let go of those thoughts that your mind wants to tell is the truth? Can you let them go? I think you can. Otherwise, you would not have showed up today. I think you can. Hey, Howard. Hey, Wally, how are you? I had a beautiful time yesterday with you. So, what we think we see is not always the truth. And when we ask and open our hearts to a new vision, to a new thought about what we're looking at, we can see God working. And that's the deal. That's where we want to be. That's where we want to stay. And that doesn't mean that we'll always be there. But the mere fact that we're open and willing to allow God to show us the truth, we can change those thoughts into thinking with God, to lessen and love in spite of how our feelings are involved, to love unconditionally is the goal. To be able to be loving no matter what our mind wants to tell us. Because our thoughts are not really the thoughts of God. And the last one for review. I am never upset for the reason I think, right? That's a little heavy thought. I am never upset for the reason I think I am, right? Never. Because we have the five senses that play into that. And once we learn to control those five senses, that ego most, that jealousy, that anger, that disappointment, once we learn to do that, then we can always have the true thoughts of God in every situation. And it takes practice, but it really is not that hard. All we have to do is when something is upset, I can say to myself, I am never upset for the reason I think I am. These thoughts do not mean anything. You can say these concepts over and over to yourself and calm down, become peaceful, and know that what you see is what God wants you to see. And be all right with it. So let's talk about what that I am never upset for the reason I think. I am never upset for the reason I think because I am constantly trying to justify my thoughts. Oh, yes. We always want to justify those thoughts. And from justify comes judgments. I am constantly trying to make them true, giving them reason to think that way. I make all things my enemy so that my anger is justified and my attacks are warranted. I have not yet realized how much I have misused everything I see by assigning this role to it. I have done this to defend my thought system that has hurt me in the past and in the present, and that I no longer want. Am I willing to let it go? Doesn't mean that you do let it go, but are you willing to let it go? Once we're willing to change, then the world around us will change. We can live in a more peaceful place in every situation. And I want to refer to something I said yesterday in my experience yesterday. Yesterday, we to see my grandson. I love my family so much. And I'm talking about my immediate family. I have one daughter, two grandchildren, and they have two fathers. And I was sitting there thinking to myself how loving this family is in the situation that these guys, and I'm giving you a little kudos here, Mr. Wally K and Mr. D.C. Penny. They are the fathers of my grandchildren. And I watch them, and I always watch them when we're all together, how they lovingly take care of these children and how they lovingly take care of each other. They work so well together. See, you can change your situation so, that love just emanates from your mere existence. And that's the way family should be. If we're willing to accept people as they are and love them just where they are, life could be a lot easier for every party it involves. There are no attacks to anyone. Nothing is after you. Nothing is taken away from you. Life is about being abundantly in thought, in action, in love. We are here to work with God. Allow God to work with us. And our God, my God, your God, is a loving creator. We separate ourselves from him, but he never, ever, ever separates himself from us. He's just sitting there waiting for us to say, yes, I'm willing to do you, God. He's just sitting there waiting for us to embrace his love so that he can work that love through you. I always say, and I'm going to leave with this. I am God manifested on earth. You can write that in the chat. I am God manifested on earth. I may be the only creator God that someone sees. I may be the reason why they change or desire to change or be willing to change just by being love. So as we go through the week or as we go through this day, remember one or two of the thoughts. You may not remember all of them, but remember, number one, nothing I see means anything. Number two, I have given what I see the meaning it has for me. Number three, I do not understand anything I see. These thoughts, number four, these thoughts do not mean anything. And I am never upset for the reason I think. Just saying those 5 statements or any one of them at any given time, especially if you're in a situation that is difficult for you, that you have angst and anxiety, that your outer self or your ego might want to blast somebody else out. Breathe and say one of them. I am not upset for the reason I think. Nothing I say means anything. Nothing I see means anything. Excuse me. These thoughts do not mean anything. I am RosaJ. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, RosaJ.Hodge.tv. There are many more videos there. There should be about 200 different videos for different reasons. I am grateful for you. And I pray that you have, and I declare that you will have a blessed day. Namaste. Be blessed. See you guys later.